Think about opening a mummy's wrapping and hearing a scary scream. How would you react? Did any treasure hunters ever come across something this spooky? What if mummies aren't always silent? Is it possible for a mummy to scream? If so, why? Today we're looking into a scary mystery that has puzzled experts for a long time. Get ready, because we're going to uncover the mystery of the screaming mummy. But before moving forward, make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, and click the bell so you won't miss our next videos. Trust me, you'll want to see what's coming. Our story begins in ancient Egypt, where mummification was a sacred ritual. The deceased were carefully preserved for their journey to the afterlife. But not all mummies were silent witnesses to history. In the 19th century, explorers stumbled upon a peculiar tomb. Inside, they found a mummy with a contorted expression and a scream frozen on its face. The legend of the screaming mummy was born. Archaeologists think they have solved the mystery of the screaming mummy, an ancient Egyptian corpse preserved with its mouth open in a silent scream. Known as Unknown Man E, the body's identity found in the Deir el-Bahari tomb complex in Egypt has long eluded researchers. However, DNA analysis of the remains suggests they belong to Prince Pentawere, a son of the pharaoh Ramses III, who was involved in a conspiracy to murder his father. Historical records indicate the prince was sentenced to be hanged as a result of his betrayal, and marks around the neck of the screaming mummy appear to confirm this account. Despite being buried next to the mummies of royalty, the remains are deemed peculiar because they have yet to be satisfactorily mummified. For all the people who are unaware of the process of mummification. So this is a procedure that involves preserving or embalming a body after a person has passed away. And you know, ancient Egyptians created this process of mummifying bodies. As a result of the Egyptians burying their deceased in shallow graves in the scorching desert, it is believed that the earliest types of mummification were the result of an accident. Do you ever think about why mummification is done? According to Egyptian belief, the mummified body served as the dwelling place for the soul or spirit of the deceased. It is possible that the spirit would be gone if the body were dismembered. If we discuss being alive while being mummified, we will eventually realize that Imhotep, the high priest of Osiris who desired to control the world, existed many years ago. Previously, he had been in charge of the scrolls of Thebes. In the moment that he was going to take the manacle of Osiris, the pharaoh dispatched his royal guards to stop him and sentenced him to be mummified alive. Alternatively, the body was left to dry and wrapped in sheepskin, rather than the fine linen often used to wrap mummies. According to the information provided by specialists, the ancient Egyptians regarded sheepskin as impure. When taken as a whole, the DNA evidence, the marks on the body, and how the body was buried all combine to imply that the body does belong to the condemned prince. According to an interview with Al-Ahram Weekly, an archaeologist named Dr. Zahi Hawass stated that the gruesome mummy of Unknown Man E, also known as the Screaming Mummy, has long puzzled scholars. He's back. At the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, the body of Prince Pentawere, a man who attempted to kill his father, Pharaoh Ramesses III, and who ultimately committed suicide after being put on trial, is currently on display for the public. It is believed that he was successful in his attempt. And here we have the infamous Pentawere, the Screaming Mummy. As you can see, Pentawere's mummy was not embalmed adequately like most ancient Egyptians. Instead, his body was left to mummify naturally, resulting in this haunting expression with his mouth agape and facial muscles strained, giving the appearance of eternal anguish. Do you think he died screaming? Or perhaps he was made to look like that after death to serve some ritual purpose? That's a great question. The exact circumstances surrounding Pentawere's expression remain a mystery to this day. Some believe he may have met a particularly gruesome end. In contrast, others suggest it could have been a deliberate attempt by ancient embalmers to convey a message or invoke a specific symbolism. What do you think? And to add another layer of intrigue, Pentawere's mummy was wrapped in sheepskin, a material considered ritually impure by the ancient Egyptians. It's unusual for a member of the elite class to be buried in such a manner. Why do you think they used sheepskin? Some speculate that it could have been a form of punishment or disgrace, indicating that Pentawere was ostracized or condemned in some way by society. Others believe it held some symbolic significance, although the exact meaning still needs to be discovered. Regardless of the uncertainties, Pentawere's mummy offers us a tantalizing glimpse into the complexities of ancient Egyptian funerary practices and beliefs. It's a reminder that even after thousands of years, secrets are still waiting to be uncovered within these silent tombs. The prince can take solace in his assassination attempt, which appears to have been successful. In 2012, a team of scientists studying the mummy of Ramesses III, reign 1184–1155 BC, found that Ramesses III died after his throat was slashed, likely in the assassination attempt that Pentawere helped to orchestrate. The scientists also performed genetic analysis, which confirmed that the screaming mummy was a son of Ramesses III. Based on the mummy's unusual burial treatment, the researchers confirmed that it is likely Pentawere's mummy. As modern-day researchers refer to it, the Judicial Papyrus of Turin is a manuscript that recounts the trials that took place in the aftermath of Pentawere's successful attempt to kill his father in the year 1155 BC. The trial of many individuals who had supposedly assisted Pentawere was overseen by a group of butlers who remained faithful to Ramesses III and his successor, Ramesses IV. These butlers sentenced the individuals to death or mutilation. In addition to military and civic authorities, these conspirators included ladies who were employed in the royal harem, which is the location where the assassination of Ramesses III may have taken place, as well as several men who were in command of the royal harem. A woman named Tiye, who was not related to King Tutankhamun and was one of Ramesses III's wives, is said to have assisted Prince Pentawere. There is no evidence to support this claim. According to the court papyrus, Prince Pentawere was brought in because he had been in collusion with Tiye, his mother, when she had plotted the matters with the women of the harem. The individual Pentawere was placed before the butlers to be examined. They found him guilty. They left him where he was. He took his own life, according to the papyrus document. How Pentawere took his own life is a topic of discussion among academics. Nonetheless, poisoning and hanging, or a combination of the two, are usually considered to be the strategies that are most likely to have been utilized. Even though the mummy of the deceased Pharaoh Ramesses III was initially placed in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings, it was relocated immediately following the theft of his tomb. Interestingly, his mummy was brought to Deir el-Bahari and placed in the same mummy cache as Pentawere's, until the family of a man named Abd el-Rasul discovered the treasure in the 19th century. The mummies of the murdered father and his murderous son were found resting alongside. Only for a limited time will the wailing mummy be visible. There has been a lot of attention from the media on the mummy's display, and it is still being determined how long it will be shown for longer. It is thought that Prince Pentawere, the son of Ramesses III, and his second wife Tiye, orchestrated the plot against his reign. Although his remains have never been positively identified, ancient writings imply that Pentawere committed suicide after being found guilty at trial. Some researchers have hypothesized that mysterious man E was either buried alive or poisoned, according to his twisted face. The current research did not reveal a more definitive cause of death. Even so, they did discover that his lungs were enlarged, which may indicate that he died of suffocation or strangulation, a finding that is compatible with suicide. Even with many guesses, the real story behind the screaming mummy is still a mystery, hidden by time. Could this mummy help us learn more about the ceremonies and thoughts of ancient Egypt? How can we connect the secrets from long ago to the science we know now? Check out the video to uncover the secrets of King Narmer. Click on the screen to dive into the fascinating story behind this ancient mystery. Don't miss out. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content on ancient mysteries and historical discoveries.